What is going on, guys? It is a fine, super fine day here in Southwest PA, and in today's episode we are going to be looking at the brand new 2025 Kawasaki Ninja 500. But before we get into all that, I do want to give a huge shout out to Addison and all the other staff here at Mercedes Motorsports for giving me this opportunity to show you this motorcycle. They don't have to do that, and that's really nice of them to let me do that. They pretty much opened up their whole entire showroom, so we can pretty much look and go over anything. So if you want to be a part of this channel and you want to be a part of the direction of the channel, the best thing you can do is not only to subscribe but turn on the notification bell so you can participate in polls, so we can kind of see what bikes or Can-Ams or boats or quads you want to see. So go ahead, check them out. Mercedes Motorsports quickly becoming one of Pittsburgh's largest power sports dealership. It's for a reason, man. They sell a lot of product, and they're good at selling product, and they have the product. So go ahead, check them out. Link is in the description, and show them some love because they show me a lot of love, and I really appreciate that. So I think the first thing I want to do is I just kind of want to go over the bike, like just look at the bike. I don't want to necessarily go over details yet. I just kind of want to take a quick glance at the bike and go over first impressions of it. The very first thing about this bike, and if you follow the channel, you already know exactly what I'm going to say. I love the color. I love a white bike. There's just something about them. They just look, I don't know, they just look better. I don't know what it is. I just really appreciate it. And what's nice about this one that's a little bit different than mine, now I got a different variation of it. This is like a flat white. It's not like a high gloss white like you can see in the tail of the bike and the side fairing here. It's very flat. It's almost like a white silver. It's white. I can't remember the exact name of the color. I'll flash it up here, but it's a flat white, which is really nice, and it looks really interesting. The tank is a little bit different. It doesn't have a lot of gloss to it. Again, it's flat. There's no like real sparkle in the paint or anything like that. Still looks good. A little bit of sticker work here. The Kawasaki looks great. We have a little bit of silver right there. A lot of nice tucked in fairing work that really does a really good job of hiding internal engine components. And I actually like the silver. I don't know if you can see it. I'll zoom in. They got like little silver tabs, which is a little bit different than mine actually. So I think that might be a change in the bike. Let's see. Integrated LED turn signals. You get turn signals, of course. You get LED lights, headlights, tail lights, and integrated turn signals are all LED. Super bright, super visible, super safe. They look better, and it'll keep you safe. Let's see. Anything else quickly going over it is got the big exhaust system there. A lot of people will change that. Not a problem. You got some kind of triple clamp system here. So this is a Ninja 500. I do have a comparison video between this motorcycle and the Ninja 650. They're very similar, but there are differences. Go ahead and check that video out if you haven't seen that video. It's did pretty well. Apparently a lot of people like that, which I really appreciate that. Let's see, we got nice size rims, nice size tires. I like the black and the white. I just think that looks aesthetically pleasing. Let's see, anything else I noticed about the bike that kind of just pops out? Of course, the Ninja 500, this is different, where you do have a different TFT display, different kind of display. I do like how it looks like it's more racy. I think that's a nice little add to it. Red lines at 11,000 RPM, max 14,000 RPMs, and all that fun stuff. Very minimalist bike. It's not made to be a super techy bike, and that's kind of, you know, they got their reasons for that. It's a 500. It's kind of like a beginner friendly motorcycle. Not to say you can't get this bike and stay on this bike your whole life. You most certainly can. In some areas, this is all you need. You can't go as fast as you want, especially if you live in other countries where you're not as wide open as the United States is. Nice wide seat. I do like how it's got like a little bit of like hidden Kawasaki's. Like there's a little hidden Kawasaki here. Does this have the little Ninja? No, but it's got this nice little seat holder you can hold on if you're a passenger. I'm sure you could use that as a as support for luggage if you really wanted to do that. The whale tail, everybody hates. I like it only because it keeps water off your back if you ride in the rain or ride in any kind of wet conditions. But generally, first impressions, that's all I really got for that. Nice, beautiful bike. I really like the color of it. I think it looks good. I like Ninja, man. You guys know me. You know I'm super biased to Kawasaki, and I'm trying to break that. I'm honestly trying to break that, but just kind of is what it is. I think now I want to go ahead and get into a little bit more of the details of the bike and give you all that information. All right, so this is a 4-stroke parallel twin engine. It's not the same engine as a Ninja 650, and I want to stop that right now. I don't want to compare this to the 650. We already did that video. Link in the description or at the end of the video, whatever I'm going to do. I'm not sure yet. You will see all that, but it is a parallel twin liquid cooled engine. It is 451 cc's, so it's like not 500 cc's, but 451, that's good enough, I suppose. It does crank out 51 horsepower at 10,000 RPMs and 31.7 foot-pounds of torque at 7,500 RPMs. So that's kind of what's nice about this bike here, is because it does kind of get you ready in a sense for a more aggressive motorcycle. It's getting you used to having those RPMs up high, kind of having a semi-aggressive body position. It's still very, very neutral. You can see the rear sets right below the seat, and the handles, you do kind of have like a clip-on situation, but they're not like clip-ons, they're like semi-clip-ons. I don't really know what you would call them, but it is kind of getting you into that sport bike looking feel. So that's why you have, like, again, the 51 horsepower at 10,000 RPMs and 31.7 foot-pounds of torque at 7,500 RPM. So it's, again, it's getting you used to cranking down that throttle and really getting that engine going. Again, remember, it redlines at 11. So it redlines at 11,000. Peak horsepower is at 10. So it does have mid to high, more high-end power band than some of the other ones. It's a 6-speed sealed chain transmission, so nothing super different there. This thing comes in at about 370 pounds wet. So wet means it has all the fluids in it. It has your coolant, your oil, your gas, all that fun stuff. So it's not a heavy bike. It's actually a very, very light bike. I know whenever people kind of get into motorcycles, they don't really realize how big a bike is until they actually sit on one, or at least that was my situation. Excuse me for the noise. They are busy. They are selling stuff. So if it gets a little noisy, I do apologize. But the weight is really light on this. Even if it was a heavier bike, with my personal experience and experience from other people, you really do get used to that really quickly. So if weight is kind of like a bothersome issue for you, please don't let it be. Trust me, it's not a big deal. But this bike is a very light bike, not even breaking 400 pounds, not even breaking 380 pounds. So it's a very light bike with a 3.7 gallon tank. So that's going to get you some really good range with this bike, because it's not cranking out crazy power, it's not heavy, and it's, you know, it's going to just give you really nice fuel economy, which it does have an eco mode on it. I think all Kawasaki's at this point in time have that. It's that little ECO light that flashes whenever you hit in the right speed at the right RPM at the right throttle position. It's just saying, hey dude, good job, you're getting the best out of your fuel economy and you're going to go far, kid. It is the seat height is 30.9 inches. So I can't remember, no, I don't want to compare the 650, but it's like right there. It is 30.9 inches, so we're almost at 31 inches. I'm about 32 inches, and I can flat foot this bike, obviously, no problem. It's no problem to flat foot this bike. Even if you are a shorter rider, you probably won't have any problems adjusting to the height. And if you so happen to do this bike, I think a new thing Kawasaki is doing is like this whole what do they call it? It's like an ergo fit. So you can change a couple things on it. They got a bunch of different seats you can change. A wider seat kind of makes you lose clearance, so a narrower seat gives you a little bit more clearance to touch the ground or whatever. But it also has a couple other things you can change to adjust that height, so we can get you feeling good, feeling relaxed on this motorcycle. Alright, so I just kind of wanted to show you the lights on this bike. Let's go ahead and hit our four ways so you can see those as well. Again, very nice bright LED turn signals, headlights, go to the rear, nice bright turn signals. Everything looks really nice and presentable. Looks really, really nice. And I say this a lot, and I apologize for going over the same material, but I understand that not all the same people watch the same videos. One thing that's really cool about what Kawasaki does with their lighting system is this white, this specific white temperature is exactly what your eyes need to determine what you're seeing on the ground at night. Meaning, you're riding at night, you're coming around a corner, is that a stick or is that an animal? These lights here, they really do a good job of helping identify what you're actually seeing on the road. And I can hold test to that. That is 100% true, because I have needed that a bunch of times, and it works very nice. Again, you do have you probably can't see that, you got a pass button right here, so if you are blessed enough to live in a state that allows lane splitting and lane filtering, I hate you. I wish Pennsylvania would quit being Pennsylvania and let me lane split. Let our people lane split. So very nice. Again, turn signals. I don't think I can hit the rear brake and show you this. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can. I can. Look at that. Very nice. So technology on this bike we already discussed. It's not a heavy tech bike. It's not made to be a heavy tech bike. And honestly, that's really nice for new riders, because sometimes you can get these bikes that have so much technology that it kind of overwhelms you, and you start playing with technology when you should be watching the road. So it's nice that this doesn't have like a bunch of flashy stuff on it, but it gives you things that you will need as a new rider, just to not only make your rider safe, but to make you more comfortable while riding your motorcycle. It does have an assist and slipper clutch. Assist means that it's very easy to pull in that clutch. You can pretty much feather it with one finger. It's really, really nice. I really like it anyways. And the slipper clutch means that if you are in a position where you shift too high, or you shift your bike down a gear when you're too high, it limits the power to the rear wheel, so you're not going to get that that slippage, right? So if usually in older bikes, if you downshift a gear and it's too high the RPM, that wheel is going to slow down to match the RPMs, and that's technically a slide, right? If the wheel is spinning at 50 mile an hour, but the bike is going at 70 mile an hour, that's a drag, that's like a slip, right? One thing I really like about Kawasaki is they have a positive neutral finder. So let me show you this. This is how I start my bike all the time. Like me personally, whenever I start my bike, this is how I start my bike. So the bike, let's put it in first gear. So you're gonna go in first. Now I got to rock it. There, okay, it's rock. That's a little tip for you guys. If you should never be in neutral, but if you are in neutral at a light and it won't go in first, rock the bike back and forth, it'll put you in gear. But what I like to do, we'll shut this off. For me and my bike is always in first gear with the handles locked, so no one steals my stuff, because I'm poor and I can't afford to get another one. But what's really nice is I turn it on, I pull in the clutch, turn it on, pull in the clutch, it's in neutral. Every time it's in neutral. Start the bike up. Every single time. Again, I'll show you it one more time. Rock the bike back. Now we're in first. You're like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go for a nice bike ride. Oh no. Up. It's right there. Positive neutral finder. Really nice. Again, I'm not your dad. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Your bike should never be in neutral unless you're cleaning the chain. That's my personal opinion. Keep it in first. Watch your rear view mirrors, and don't get hurt on a bike this year. I only say that because I'm on Facebook, and today alone I've seen like 9 GoFundMes for people in motorcycle accidents, and you know, that's sad and that sucks, but it's like, you know, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Let's see. I don't want to go on a rant about that, but you know, limited technology, like we were just talking about. It does have the eco mode. We already talked about that. Smartphone connectivity. You can get what's called the Kawasaki Rideology. I actually never messed with it, and I really wish that I had whenever, I first got my bike, because it's really nice that it can, it kind of like tracks your miles and it tracks where you're going and things like that. And I don't know, I just think it's a nice little thing to have, especially if you really want to know what's going on. Again, I apologize for the noise. They're selling bikes. There's nothing I can do about that. Let's see, other technology, honestly, that's it. There's not a lot of tech with it. Again, the eco mode, the slipper clutch, the assisted clutch, Kawasaki, or the positive neutral finder, Kawasaki positive neutral finder, or whatever you want to call it. And that's it, man. You're not getting a bunch of crazy technology. It doesn't have cruise control. It doesn't have like KIBs or anything like that. It will have ABS if ABS is involved. I don't believe this one is ABS. It would say it on the bike. Usually it'll say it right here if it does have ABS. This one, I do not believe that it does. That's not a problem. I don't think it's a problem. My Ninja doesn't have ABS. Some people say you should have it. You know, it's just an extra safety thing. You do pay more for ABS, and it does kind of fluctuate the weight a little bit. So if you do want ABS, just keep in mind the price is going to go up with that added technology. Again, it is nice to have, but you know, is it completely necessary? You know, it didn't deter me from getting my bike, but you know, that's just me. So in the front, we do have 41 millimeter hydraulic telescopic forks, 4.7 inches, and the back suspension is a horizontal back link with adjustable preload up to 5.1 inches. So that's a really nice thing that they have, the horizontal back link suspension. What it does is it frees up space back here. I should actually zoom in so you can see it. There it is. I should bring like a little light. It's back here, it's adjustable, but what's nice about it is it opens this up a little bit so you can put your aftermarket exhaust, which I know that you're going to do. I knew you're going to do it, and that's okay. Everybody does it. But that's what's nice about it, and that's kind of what's nice about that, as opposed to their other design, the Unitrack system. That just kind of frees up a little bit more space for you to be able to do that. So as far as tires go, we do have 110 70/70s in the front, and in the rear we do have 150 60/17s. As far as brakes go, the front has a single 310 millimeter rotor. You can see it's not pedal style, but they got holes in it. That's really good for heat dispersion and all that fun stuff to get rid of excess heat, so you don't overheat. It's pretty much essentially what it is. Floating discs with 2 piston calipers. This one again is not ABS model, but if it was ABS, you would have the ABS with it. In the rear, you do have a single 220 millimeter disc, single piston caliper. Again, non-ABS version for this one. Not a big deal. It's just, excuse me, is what it is. What is kind of interesting about this bike is in the front, it is only a single disc. A lot of times when you have higher displacement, it is going to be dual disc, but to be honest with you, the bike is light, the displacement's not crazy, the horsepower torque's not crazy. You don't need that kind of stopping power. Great stopping power for what you need, and this is what you need. Obviously, you can upgrade if you want to upgrade. No real point on this bike because, I mean, you know, they're engineers. They know what they're, they know what they're doing. Speaking of all this, what kind of tires? Are they Dunlops? Most of the time they give you Dunlops. Yes. Dunlop Sport Max tires. So this is kind of middle of the road tire. I believe that this is more of a, it's not like a sports tire, but it's like that starting to get you into the sports tire realm. But you do have nice nice grooves in here. Looks nice for water dispersion and all that fun stuff. So, get decent tires with it. That's one nice thing about motorcycles nowadays is they do give you nice bikes. Kawasaki, because I do a lot of Kawasaki's. If it's a sports bike, they give you good tires. I just did what bike did I just do? Can't remember the last bike I just did. Oh, the Z900. The Z900, they gave you Rossi, Rossi 4s or something like that. So real good tires for what you need. These are good tires for what you need. Obviously, you will replace these in time, so then you can kind of just get whatever you want. But Dunlops, they are good tires, so you don't really have to worry about that. Let's see. Anything else I can tell you about this bike before we sit on it? I don't think so, honestly. I think that's pretty much everything. 41 millimeter hydraulic telescopic fork, 4.7 inches. We did already talked about the horizontal backlink suspension with adjustable preload. So again, that kind of opens everything up. So when you get your new exhaust system, everything fits all sexy and you don't have to worry about anything not fitting, and doesn't mess with the center of gravity, right? So, you have a pivot point, you have a center of gravity. It's nice because it kind of tucks everything in, lets you be able to customize your bike without taking away the engineering of the bike. So you don't mess up anything, so to speak. So I think the next thing I want to do is I want to kind of show you the TFT display and kind of go over all that with you and kind of go through a little bit of the settings. All right, so what I wanted to do now is just quickly go over the TFT display. I really like the startup of it. I think it looks really nice. Again, we kind of see this whole racing style TFT display. So I think that looks really, really nice. Quickly, before we get into that, I will show you, this whole control unit here. Again, not a lot going on. High beams, low beams. You have your turn signals, cancel to put it in the middle, you got your horn, and your four ways. And that is all you have on this side. This side, obviously, you just have your kill switch and your ignition. That's it. There is not a lot going on in this bike. Again, looking at this whole, if I can put my fat head in here, block the shadow. Yeah, we do that. We see gear indicator. Again, we have another gear indicator here for neutral. And we have a left and a right system instead of an up and down system as some of the other Kawi's. And to control that, you have a top and a bottom button. Flipping through the top button is going to mess with the left side of the TFT display. So we have your trip A, your trip B, miles per gallon US, average miles per gallon US, range, odometer. 0 miles. This has no miles on it. It is here at Mercedes Motorsports in North Versailles if you guys want to get this bike. 0 miles, guys. The bottom button, that messes or adjusts the or cycles is probably the best word to use. That cycles through the right side of the display. So we have your time, your temperature, and that's it. We have a fuel gauge up here, and that is it. All right, so what I wanted to do now is I just wanted to sit on the bike and kind of show you what it looks like. I'm about 32-inch inseam. This is 30.7 or 30.9 inch seat height. So I should be able to flat foot this bike absolutely no problem. And with its lightweight, it should be no problem kind of maneuvering this bike around. But to just kind of show you what that looks like, throwing a leg over it, super light, man. Super light bike. As you can see, I have absolutely no problem flat footing the bike. It's so light that I have like no problem maneuvering it around. Nice comfortable seat, actually. It's a little bit of a more wide seat, which is really nice because it just makes it more comfortable. I think a wider seat makes things a little bit more comfortable. That's just my personal opinion. Semi-aggressive riding position as far as the handlebars go. Again, we got the semi clip-on situation, so it's not like down here like a Super Sport, but it is a little bit lower. We do see our foot peg is right below us, so it's a very neutral body position. My legs are not back here, they're not up here. Just a very nice, easy body position to get used to a bike. And that's what's really nice about this particular motorcycle, right? Because one of the biggest hurdles, from what I've been told from other riders, is getting used to that body position on like a 636, right? Or something in that order. And this is like that nice stepping stone because you are aggressive a little bit, very little aggressive, but you're still prepping yourself for that. And again, with the power band so high, it's getting you used to cranking down that throttle, hitting your peak horsepower at, what was it, 51 horsepower at 10,000 RPMs. Red line's at 11,000 RPMs. Max is 13 or 14,000 RPMs. So it's getting you used to cranking down the throttle. I do like the mirrors. I have full visibility of everything behind me, which is really nice. Believe it or not, if you're new to motorcycling and you're kind of shopping around, one of the weird things that motorcycles don't get right is the mirrors. Not how they look, but how they actually work and perform. These are like the same mirrors on my 650. Parallel twins are notorious for vibrations. It's just the engine configuration. It just is what it is. But they are very usable. You don't lose visibility because of the shaking or anything like that. Very nice. Whole line of sight behind me. Good presentation beside me. Very little of my shoulder is in the mirror. So it's like 80% of this mirror is actually usable, which is really nice. Let's see, any other thing that I want to talk about. Nice narrow gas tank. It's nice to get your leg tucked in here. You see it's kind of divoted in, leg right there. Nice easy body position. Again, it gets you tucked into this bike or makes you one with this bike, right? So everything's kind of in. Your in the bike and you can go and have a good time. It's crazy how easy this clutch is. Like, I need to get my clutch worked on because you can't see this. I'll show a video here. I'm pulling this clutch in with my pinky finger, pulling the brake in with my pinky finger. But this clutch with my pinky is insane. My clutch needs adjusted or lubed up or something. Again, really nice looking bike. The color looks really good. Sitting on it with this annoying bright light right here, I can see more of the paint. Again, it's like that semi-gloss, like flat, more or less paint. It's not super glossy. It's not a bunch of sparkles in it. I like that. I like the flatness in it. I think it looks aesthetically pleasing and all that stuff. The cockpit looks really, really nice. And it's just a very good, simple, easy bike to run. All right, guys, so what I want to do real quick is just give you a very quick sound check on this bike. I know it's not a great exhaust. It's still stock exhaust or whatever. So again, we're neutral right there. Oh, it had to be first. Sorry, I got it mixed up. I got too excited to show you this. Again, this bike is for sale at Mercedes Motorsports. This is the one in North for sales. Again, link is in the description. Go ahead and check them out. If you like this video and you want to see more, don't forget to share or like, share, and subscribe. Again, if you want a little bit more say in what goes on in the channel, hit the notification bell and stay on tune with the community tab. There I am going to be putting out polls so we can see what we want to see next. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you today in this episode. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you did actually enjoy this content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Again, description, all their information for Mercedes Motorsports. So again, check them out. What a nice, I can't get over that clutch. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, guys, I'm rambling. I will see you in the next one.